Okay, here we are. Wait for Instagram to connect here and we'll be off. But first, I got to be honest with you on this one. I don't know about this one. I was creatively blocked on it all week. Like, shit. What was I doing? Why did I pick those colors? Oh shit. I don't think I have Instagram set up. Hold on. Oh well. No Instagram this week, it looks like. But that's okay. Yeah, so I was it's all good. I'll do something. But yeah, it's one of those moments where I was like, oh shit, this is not what I expected. What am I doing here? This is not where I was going with this. So we'll see. It'll be fine. It always is. So I'm coloring in Moon Magic by me, Amy Chesery, with my alcohol markers here. And make sure to have your scrap paper when you use alcohol markers. It's like really important. So just make sure it's part of your thing on a single-sided book. And if you're new, these are just really chill coloring sessions. Sometimes I explain what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't. And yeah, I'm just gonna do some coloring and see where this one goes. Because as I said, I really have no idea. I'm a little wondering why I went this direction and how to move forward, for what it's worth. But I know I want to make these corners darker, maybe even significantly so. It's just a nice time to play and see what happens. How about that? Yeah, I'm facing another art situation right now where like I'm wondering if I'm overcomplicating it or just being too simple. Like it's so hard sometimes. Like I see simplicity in other people's work and I really, really like it. But then when I'm facing it, it feels like I'm cutting corners or not being fancy enough. And then I'm like, oh, why did I go too fancy? So I don't know if you ever feel like that. Hi, Julia. You're welcome for the wallpaper. I'm going to send it out again like next week. If you didn't get it, get on my email list. I also posted it in the new Discord group, which is fun. And yeah, new things. Been trying a lot of new things lately, which is interesting. I know a lot of people, the trend with alcohol markers is to just make it all really smooth, but I don't know if I'm down with that for me. I feel like that's only going to do so much for me creatively. Like that's only going to be fun for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to want a little more texture going on. But smooth is a style, you know, smooth is a thing. Smooth is a style. If it's your style, that's fine. Yeah, so part of this was just the lightness. Oops. And then the balance between top and bottom. The bottom was so much darker with the red. Okay. Gonna make it worse before I make it better. Let's see, where's my other purple? There it is. I could also go all the way to the edge of the paper. I don't know if that would help or make it worse, so I'm not going to do it at this point. I'm just seeing a lot darker up here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, this one is truly an experiment in experimenting. Trying something and just seeing where it goes, even if it's kind of weird. So we'll see what happens. So far, so good. Okay, much darker and very purpley. Thanks so much, chicken. I brought in an even darker purple. That's kind of reddish for these top corners. Sorry, I'm off the screen there. Can't wait to see how it dries. Could be very interesting. I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I have improved my situation here, but that's okay. You know, it's just the way it goes sometime with any art. I know people get tripped up if they have like one bad page or something doesn't work out right, but I gotta be honest, it's just how it goes, even if you do art every day. Especially if you're doing it like live and on the fly like I am right now. But even if you're not, like even if nobody's watching, you might just make some funky art and it's all right. It's true. No art, no rules. No rules in art. It is true. I think I just wanted to go a lot darker than I began with. But it did kind of take on a mind of its own. So I think also if I turn this upside down, the top is looking pretty cool. I think it's the bottom that I'm tripping on a little bit. I like the top because it looks like a mystical sky. I think if I can just get my story straight down here. Yes, yes. Get my story straight down here and that'll come together. But yeah, the top looks pretty cool to me, to be honest. It's true, yes, Ashford. I've seen a lot of people using pencil over markers lately. And I've been thinking about that because I really like, well, I don't know if I just like because it's easier to blend pencil. It's just a different look. It does look better with a darker background. It's just not as much. Maybe it is as much purple as I thought it needed. It is a unique piece. I'll give it that. I feel like going to the edges. Ooh. Okay, let's get. You thought I was crazy. Now I'll show you crazy. We'll just take it all the way. We'll go super artsy with it. How about that? Okay, let me move these because then they will not distract your eye. I think I just had to do a lot more than I was wanting to do, to be quite honest. Erasing my carefully placed highlights. It's okay, they weren't that carefully placed. All right. So I'm down with that top part. The shape is weird to me at the bottom, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much more dark magenta I'm willing to go. Like I feel like it needs to go all the way. Like I should have just committed to that a little bit earlier. Because now it's a little bit of a mess when it could have been a little more clean down there. Like if I had just gone all the way. John, yeah, they're definitely easier to blend with than normal markers. But I don't know. I was looking back. I don't know if I was just more practiced with them when I used to use them a couple years ago. Must be it. But I was like, I am struggling more with blending them this time around. But this is also a really dark color. And most of the pieces I did previously were not this dark. So when you're going like almost all the way black, it's going to be a challenge, which is basically what this is. But it's looking kind of cool, especially from a distance. I think it's coming together. I'm sweating here, but it's coming together. Yeah, it just ended up being a lot darker than I had anticipated, but at the same time, like, it was too light. So it's just an experiment. Has a lot of power, to be quite honest. That's like some real primal moon magic going on right there, I gotta say. Yeah, for sure. I will not be thwarted. I will try again on the next page. I went out of the lines there, but that's okay. Just go a little more out of the lines to fix it. Wow. I do feel like I'm being transported through space and time. Which is always a good thing. Clean up a little bit of the edge here. strange and unusual, but all things considered, kind of grown on me. Definitely a unique piece. Feels nice too, just to like scribble a bunch. I know I end up saying that in every week, but it's true. Okay, it's just sort of blending in the edges a little bit. Yes, the markers totally bleed through the black backside, so only use markers in a single-sided book, and always make sure to put scrap paper underneath, because markers are super heavy and wet. The nice thing about alcohol markers, though, is their water-based markers will warp the paper, and alcohol markers leave it pretty flat. So I think I just want to do a little bit on the candle here. And then I'll probably call it good. Okay. Cool. Well, that was an adventure. I will say that. But it turned out to be a pretty trippy, mystical night sky. So let me try to get you a better shot of it. A little farther away from the table here. There we go. Cool. Yeah. Uh-huh. I actually am kind of pleased. I feel like I could have even gone after all that. I could have even gone black to the edge, but the maroon is pretty interesting. So I'll just explain. On this first page I did, blending to a lighter blue was easier. So I think this was just a lot darker color and therefore a lot more difficult. Took a lot more ink to get the result that I was going for. But I think in the end I make sure to put my scrap paper underneath or I'll be sad. I think at the end I pulled it off. It was just more ink, a little more coloring than I bargained for, but that's okay. And a little more difficult. Like a lighter color would have been a lot easier to blend. But the same as with colored pencils. You just have to keep going. Like if you want a dark color all over the background, you really just got to keep at it. So, pretty intense. But that's what happens. That's what happens when you try new things. The sky part, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's like magic. Magic's about to happen. Pretty sure. Well, thanks for joining me. I think next week I am going to start on this double page spread, and I will probably not be doing as dark of a background. I'll do something a little bit lighter. But yeah, that'll be on Thursday, so I hope you'll join me then. Thanks for watching.